Hey everyone, I am back as promised. I am managing to do these videos once a week so far. Next week I have an extra day off, so maybe I'll do an extra one. We'll see. I want to thank everyone so much for your feedback and support. It was overwhelming. I really am very, very excited about how much feedback I got and suggestions that I got and requests that I have received to cover various topics. So I do promise that I will eventually cover every topic that you've asked me for. And some of the suggestions that you've given me, like to buy a camera to get a better video quality, yes, I am in the process of doing that. Somebody said I should change my background. Maybe I'll work on it, we'll see. Somebody told me I should sit down, so I am sitting down now. It's actually a little more comfortable. I was literally squatting during the last video, so yeah, this might be better. So, and the other major suggestion was to keep it as short as possible, try to keep it to 5 minutes. Not sure if I can do that, I'll try, but I think it's probably going to be a little longer, maybe shorter than the last one, which was 20 minutes, but I'm going to have to work on the 5-minute thing. So again, I welcome all your suggestions, recommendations, feedback requests, and anything that you want me to talk about. Please don't hesitate to ask me. So before I get into today's topic, and today's topic has to do with being addicted to substances in foods that you may be eating and why that's not good and what you can do about it, I just want to talk a little bit once again about what's driving me, what my purpose is, why I'm doing this, why I'm spending time, making time to get this information out at no benefit to me unless you consider the idea of helping a lot of people a benefit to me, which I do. So I had a pretty challenging childhood. It was really pretty nightmarish in many ways. And by the time I was 10 years old, I had started contemplating whether or not I wanted to be alive and was thinking about the easiest way to actually commit suicide should I decide that that's what I wanted to do. And I really did give it a lot of serious thought. I was a little bit mature for my age, forced to be mature by my circumstances. And I already understood a lot about life by then, and I also studied a lot of what you would call esoteric things, so I understood spirituality as well. And I made a decision when I was 10 that instead of killing myself, I would stay alive, but I would use all of the challenging experiences that I was having to be able to help other people, to reduce other people's suffering. And I feel like that was the moment that I made that decision, that it was God guiding me and implanting in me an assignment, a purpose to help other people. And I never looked back. That's what I've been doing ever since. And when I was younger, 10, 11 years old, the help of other people took a very, I guess, simple form. And then slowly over the years, over time, the way that I offer help expanded, became more comprehensive, and started to reach more people. So I've been practicing as an alternative health doctor for just about 20 years. And before that, I was actually a social worker helping people in a different way. But for 20 years, I've been helping many, many people with their health, and not only their health, because when you're helping somebody with their health, you have to sometimes help them spiritually as well. You have to really look at what is stopping them from achieving health. What obstacles do they have? So I find myself needing to do that. I also have been traveling around the country teaching other practitioners about how to help patients with their health. So in that way, can reach a lot more people, because for every practitioner that's able to help people, you're exponentially increasing your reach. But now I feel this further assignment, if we can call it that, and it feels very urgent to get information out to the general public, and specifically to people who actually want to participate in helping to make the world a better place, helping you to be healthier so that you can be as productive and as effective as possible. Because if you don't have your health, you can't do as much, right? So that's what's driving me. That's my purpose. And it feels like this, I can't use any other word, but assignment that I have to fulfill. And I'm going to do the very best I can with it. And I see I already went over 5 minutes, so oops. But I didn't think I'd be able to stick to it. So I want to talk to you about, I want to go back into history a little bit and talk to you about how we came to be at the point that we're at today. And I'm not going to go into a deep conversation about it, but I want to talk to you about something that I find very interesting, that I think that you should know. So all the way back in 1773, one of the original Rothschilds of the who's known as the founder of the Rothschild banking system, his name was Mayer, hold on, I wrote it down because it was a lot of words. Mayer Amschel Bauer Rothschild. So he was a goldsmith and a coin trader, and he was very, very wealthy. This was in Germany in 1773, and he gathered 12 of his cronies, I guess all wealthy bankers, and they put together a 25-point plan for taking control of the world. Interesting, right? Now, those 25 points, if you actually take a look at them, you will have no trouble recognizing that each of the items on that list is actually being carried out today. It's like that list, that original list, is being followed. I just want to point out 2 items on that list that impact your health. Okay, so item number 12, I'm going to read it. Use the press for propaganda to control all outlets of public information while remaining in the shadows, clear of blame. Okay, so that's important because most of the population gets their health information from the mainstream media. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now moving backwards a couple steps here. Step number 8. Advocate the use of alcoholic liquors, drugs, moral corruption, and all forms of vice. And I'm paraphrasing because there's a little more to that step. Okay, so let's get people addicted to stuff and then use the press to propagandize them into believing it, that this is what's good for them, that this is what they should be doing. Now, fast forward to today. All right, we talked in the last video, and if you didn't watch it, just check it out real quick. We talked about the importance of eating real food, things that grow in the ground, grow on a tree, or have a mother and are minimally processed. And anything else we call processed products. Now, processed products don't have the nutritional components, what we call the replacement parts, to help you grow healthy new cells. Not only do they not have it, but they contain toxic ingredients, toxic chemicals that actually damage your health and are highly addictive. So back in 1773, they didn't have all this stuff. They did have sugar. We're going to talk about sugar, but they didn't have some of the other chemicals that are found in food right now. But doesn't matter. Clearly, that's the direction that was going to be taken and headed in, and it's been very effective. You have to give them credit for being extremely effective and achieving their goal, and almost achieving their goals of controlling the world. But it did achieve the goal of making us sick and weak, and I have to say it, stupid. I'm not calling you stupid, but you could be smarter if you didn't eat that stuff, because it does affect your ability to reason, to think. It's really poison. It's poison. You're poisoned if you eat processed foods. So I want to talk about, I'm going to focus on two highly addictive chemicals that are in so many processed foods. And the first one is sugar. So basically, almost all processed foods have refined sugars added to them. And sugar can be in the form of white, bleached refined sugar. It can be high fructose corn syrup, which is sugar on steroids. It can be fake honey. It can be just regular corn syrup. Sugar is sugar. For our purposes, sugar is sugar. And sugar is extremely addictive. It's more addictive than cocaine. And it causes so many health issues, so many. It's inflammatory. And really, if you give it a little bit of thought, inflammation is the cause of disease. Inflammation causes damage. So if you think of your body like a house, and the house is on fire, inflammation is the fire. So sugar is it's like pouring fuel on the fire. And sugar also feeds pathogens. So bacteria, virus, fungus, yeast, and parasites love sugar. When you eat sugar, you make your body like a hotel for germs. Sugar also creates nutritional deficiency. It literally competes with nutrients to get into your cells. And guess who wins? So you eat some vegetables with lots of minerals in them, and then you wash it down with some sweet drink or have some dessert afterwards, and the minerals and the sugar kind of have a confrontation in there, and they get into a little fist fight, and sugar beats the crap out of your minerals, and sugar wins and gets into your cells and causes damage. Okay, so a lot of people want to know, well, is there any sugar that is okay? What about raw honey? What about maple syrup, grade B, unprocessed maple syrup? What about raw sugar that's unrefined? So my recommendation is, if you are eating a lot of processed foods and you are addicted to sugar, that the goal would be to give your body a sugar vacation, and that would include all sugars. It's okay to eat some fruit. Different fruits have different amounts of sugars in them. So you try to stick with low sugar fruits like berries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. Those are lower in sugar, and they have a lot of other nutrients in them. So my suggestion is to gradually make a plan for yourself to gradually wean off sugar. So if you're drinking soda 10 times a week, see if you can cut it down to 5 times a week. Most people are able to do that, and that way you're not going cold turkey. You're not going to go through withdrawal, because you can do that and make yourself feel awful. Just make a plan for yourself. Write down what you're eating and the frequency that you're eating it. It's called a food journal. And make a goal for yourself to gradually decrease it. Find some substitutes. So there's soda out there that's sweetened with stevia. Stevia is an herb. It's a plant. Stevia is okay. It's not sugar. It's a sweetener that's not sugar. Please stay away from artificial sweeteners like aspartame or equal sucralose, which is Splenda. Those are very toxic, and we'll cover those in another video. So just make a plan to gradually decrease the amount of sugars you're eating now and replace it with fruits that you enjoy. And eventually your cravings will go away and you'll start to feel better. And then if you find yourself slipping and eating it again, you'll notice, please take note, that you won't feel as well. If you need help with this, because some people really struggle with it, and if you need help, I can refer you to somebody that can help you with it in your area. So just reach out to me and I will find you someone. The second toxic chemical that's in a lot of processed foods that I want to talk about is MSG, monosodium glutamate. Some of you know that that's added to the Chinese fast food. MSG is highly addictive. It's a neurotoxin, which means it damages your nervous system, among other things. And it has a lot of different sneaky names. So, autolyzed plant protein is MSG. Now that sounds like it might be okay. Plant protein, right? Nope. Really sneaky. Autolyzed yeast protein or hydrolyzed yeast protein, hydrolyzed, texturized vegetable protein, texturized soy protein, calcium caseinate. All of these things are MSG, and you can actually go on Google, or DuckDuckGo is what I use for my search engine, and look it up. Just put in other words for MSG. Okay, so a lot of junk food has MSG in it, like Doritos. You know, a lot of these products are loaded with MSG. Kids eat it. It's literally causing brain damage, okay? I can't stress to you enough how bad it is for you. And again, highly addictive. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about these chemical addictions. If you're mineral deficient, if you're fat deficient, basically if you're nutritionally deficient, if you're good salt deficient, you're going to crave these chemicals. This is your body asking you to feed it the stuff that it needs, and you are misinterpreting the craving. You're misinterpreting the signal, okay? So as you start to add better quality foods to your diet, some of these cravings will go away, but you need to start cutting down on these things that you're addicted to. So if you're addicted to Doritos, go to your local health food store and find some chips. There's plenty of good quality chips that you can replace it with. I like, there's a brand called Plant Snacks, and it's made out of cassava, and I think they're delicious. So that's my chips. Right? There's good quality potato chips made with good quality oil. There's good quality popcorn. So there are things available, right? When I first started eating better, when I was 15, these things were not available. It was very difficult. But now you have processed junk food that's actually not bad for you. So that's really a blessing. Okay, so just a word about minerals. Minerals are found in the soil. So things that grow in the soil have minerals in them, or animals that eat things that are grown in the soil. So cows that eat grass, chickens that peck off the ground, they have minerals in them, and so do plant foods like vegetables. And our soils are very depleted of minerals because of commercial farming. So most of us are mineral deficient, and we're gonna have a whole video just on minerals, one of my favorite topics. But you need to try to get some good quality minerals into your body Eat some dark green leafy vegetables. Try to start, if you're not already eating, some whole foods, some nutrient dense foods. That is your first step, and that will help you. So as you're gradually reducing the bad processed foods filled with chemicals, you gradually increase the amount of nutrient dense foods that you're eating. So we've hit 20 minutes. I really tried hard to have a shorter video, but this might be where my wheelhouse is 20 minutes. There's so much to say. So I'm gonna stop for now so I don't overwhelm you with too much information or bore you. And I will return as soon as I can with more important topics on nutrition and health. And between now and then, I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, guys, and thanks again.